Hello everyone, my name is Mai Saraswati Wirapuswanati with student ID number 21120211161. In this occasion, I will present about my research background and literature review. First, the title of my research is The Effect of Gamification on Students' Critical Thinking Skills in English Learning of the 10 grade students at SMIN 1 Singaraja. So this is a quantitative research that uses an experimental design. I chose this topic because gamification is seen as a step that can make a significant contribution to the understanding and development of more effective learning practices, especially in the context of English learning at SMIN 1 Singaraja and perhaps also in other schools. In my research background, there are several parts. The first one is introduction paragraph that sets the stage for the study. So this might involve introducing to the broad topic area and explaining its significance or relevance in the field of study. First, I will explain about the importance of English in communication and curriculum of EFL students. Then I discuss the skills needed in learning English, such as listening, writing, reading, and also speaking. However, to achieve and learn these four skills, critical thinking is required to analyze, evaluate, interpret, and combine information. So in this part, in the introduction part, I focus about I put my focus about how the critical thinking influence the process of learning English. Then I will describe the existing phenomena of decreasing students' critical thinking abilities at SMIN 1 Singaraja in this part, in the second part. One of the challenges often faced is students' lack of motivation or interest in developing critical thinking skills because they are used to a more traditional or information-oriented learning approach. So this teaching method emphasizes teacher authority, passive learning, and also test-based evaluations. Students are encouraged to receive information just from the educators without much interaction or active participation in learning. And there are also challenges that come from teachers due to a lack of training and guidelines regarding to the implementation of effective learning. Next, I will discuss about the theory regarding the phenomena that occur in my research. There is a theory to overcome this problem, the decreasing of students' critical thinking skills. So the teachers can apply a gamification approach. So in this section, I will explain about the meaning of gamification, the goals of gamification, and how gamification can develop students' creative thinking abilities. And then fourth, research, I will explain about the research that previously conducted. So there are relevant studies that explain about how gamification affects learning, particularly in critical domains such as vocabulary mastery, student motivation, speaking, reading, and also writing skills. So just take, for example, the researchers in private school, Simbana and his friends, verified the impact of gamification on students' communication abilities. So the findings demonstrated that gamification greatly improves students' oral communication abilities. And also there are junior high school students participate in a study by San Martin in 2020 on using the gamification strategy. So the study's result demonstrated that gamification learning exercises significantly can enhance students' vocabulary memory. So from these two research, we can conclude that gamification has impact in students' oral abilities and also vocabulary mastery. Then, after stating the previous study, I tried to identify the gap or deficiency in existing research that the current study aims to address. So, studies specifically focusing on the impact of gamification on critical thinking skills in English language learning are limited. So, existing research predominantly explores the use of gamification in language learning more broadly, with few studies specifically investigating its effect on critical thinking abilities. And the last one is a concluding paragraph. So this paragraph involves summarizing the main findings, highlighting the significance of the research, and providing the transition to the methodology section of the study. So in the concluding paragraph, I state, due to limited research on critical thinking in learning English and in an effort to overcome students' problem in the classroom, the study applied the gamification approach to another important aspect of learning English, namely critical thinking skills. So this study was implemented in 10th grade of SMA Negeri 1 Singaraja to investigate whether or not the strategy was effective in the 10th grade students of SMA Negeri 1 Singaraja in academic year 2023 and 2024. And then I will explain about my literature review. So the first one is theoretical review. So that focus on existing theories and models that explain or provide insights to the phenomenon under investigation. So in this section, several things are discussed. So the first thing that I explained is about the definition of gamification according to expert. So the concept of gamification was first introduced by Nick Paling in 2002 at the presentation of technology, entertainment, and design event. So gamification is the application of game design elements and mechanism to non-game contexts such as learning. Second, I explain about the goals and benefits of gamification. So gamification can increase students' motivation, participation, and academic success in learning English through various methods. And then third, I will explain about how to implement gamification. So by integrating elements like competition, rewards, and interactivity into the learning process, gamification can make English language teaching more enjoyable for the students. Or the educator can also apply interesting online learning applications to implement gamification. So programs or applications that adopt gamification elements are called as funware. So the example of the application is Kahoot, Kahoot, Quizzes, and etc. Next is an empirical review. So several studies have been conducted to determine the effect of gamification on learning, especially in important skills such as speaking abilities, reading, writing skills, and also vocabulary mastery. However, it is unfortunate that one important thing has not been discussed, namely critical thinking skills. Therefore, investigating the correlation between gamification and critical thinking development is imperative. So a deeper understanding of how gamification influences essential thinking skills can enhance existing English language learning approaches and improve the quality of education provided to the students. So I think that's all about my presentation about the research background and the literature review. Thank you and see you next time.